Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey everybody, Dr. Dave here for another episode of Streams of Income. And if you saw me raising my arms in triumph before the video started, it's because when you activate Zoom to start recording, there's a split second there where you don't know if it's recording, and the electronic voice has not said recording to the cloud, although it sounds more female than that. But I just figured, you know what, instead of me sitting here like this, I would do something a little more fun, a little more active. And so that's why I might have looked a little weird when you first signed on. So this episode is interesting because in my Streams of Income Facebook group, which, by the way, is a free group, and you can sign up for that on Facebook. The link's in the show notes, but you can sign up for that for free. And actually, when you sign up, I'll give you a free copy of the book, Streams of Income. And so in the group, I had posted a video about some changes in the laws in several states, where the states were going to start subsidizing swimming education in the schools, which I think is an amazing idea. I think more subjects like swimming, CPR, first aid, things like that, how to take care of yourselves, and not to mention personal finance and things like that. I think more of that should be included in school curriculum, maybe in place of some of the other stuff that, some of y'all may get mad at me, especially if you're a school teacher, but in place of some of the other crap where it's just pure memorization and you'll never use it again, unless you're in a very specialized job where you might use it. I worked construction for many years for my dad, and I did use some of the geometry and some of the basic math working that job when I was working for my dad. But other than that, I mean, algebra, not one time have I ever used algebra that I can think of outside of school, except for when I'm having to teach my kids algebra. And so, but back to the main subject, I made a post about how the laws were changing and states were subsidizing swimming education and how that's a business opportunity because guess what? The schools are not set up for that. The schools, unless you have a fancy high school that has a swim team and a swimming pool on site, you're not going to see that at most schools. But here's the thing. A lot of schools nowadays are doing what they call time release programs or off-campus things where you can actually sign up for the program or the program's mandatory, and you go off campus for it. They'll bus you off campus. So guess what? If you're a swimming instructor or want to be, or just an amazing swimmer that can teach swimming, or maybe you own a fitness facility that has a pool and you want to make some money during the day in those slow hours, you could teach swimming for the public schools. And so I made a video about that. It is a really neat business opportunity. Not one I want to get into because I can swim like a fish. I mean, my people are Vikings. We are made for being in the water and fighting in the water and going across the water and doing all kinds of things in the water that they don't want to teach in any school. But I don't want to teach swimming. Number one, I don't like people's kids. I mean, I love my kids, but I don't like other people's kids because, I won't get into that. I don't do kid things. I don't coach sports. I don't volunteer in the kids' room at church, that kind of thing. It's safer for your kids if I don't, because your kids and you probably wouldn't like me. People get mad when I make kids do burpees or push-ups or something when they don't behave. It's like, is this not normal? Your kid screws up. You do burpees. That seems normal to me. Most parents don't like that, though. But back to the business opportunity, a guy named Rich Potter responded to that and said, hey, I got some franchises that can do that. And I had not met Rich before. He's a member of the group, so shout out to him in the group there. And I said, hey, send me your details and everything. I would love to get you on a podcast and talk about this. But not just that, other franchises as well. I want to talk to Rich about what he does exactly, because here's my guess. I don't know, and Rich is going to correct this because I'll ask him during the podcast, but he seems like a franchise consultant. In other words, you go to him and he'll help you find the perfect franchise for your personality, your needs, your location, your budget, and all those good things that are going to help make you a success as an entrepreneur with a franchise. One of the things I'm also looking forward to asking him, which this is a question that was posed by one of the members in my paid membership group, Passive Income Engines. They wanted me to ask is how does this work? Do you help me find it and you get a commission? I pay you more. And so that's one of the things, one of the people in the other group that I manage was wanting to know. And so I'm looking forward to finding out. So stay tuned. In just a minute, we're going to get Rich on here and we're going to talk about franchises. I'm looking forward to this. All right, Mr. Putter, I'm glad to meet you, man, because I've got a bunch of questions here. I submitted to the paid membership I run. And I said, hey, do you guys have any questions for this guy about franchises and stuff? So I've got a list, but could you just tell us a little bit about you and how you got into franchising? And, go ahead and give us your whole business story if you'd like, and then I'll jump in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, it starts quite a long time ago. I've been running my own businesses now for about 10 years. So I went to Arizona State University. I studied business there. And right out of college, I started working a sales job for a electronic component distributor. And I did that for 12 years. But it was probably 7, maybe 8 years in, I just, got kind of frustrated with the ceiling that I kept hitting, both financially and professionally. And one of my largest clients I was managing was actually a Mexico account. And I found out that they just got bought out by a company in India. Oh. And so I was worried that overnight, more than 60-70% of my commissions was just going to disappear and they were going to move all production to India and stuff like that. And so we started looking around for side jobs or for a little side gig. What do we do to make some more money? So for us, it started, this would have been 2000, I want to say 14, maybe 13, but I found photo booths in the event industry. So we bought a photo booth. We started doing photo booths at weddings and birthday parties, and that quickly turned into kind of a full-blown event business where we were doing photo booths, we were doing bubble soccer rentals. Eventually, we added a second photo booth brand, and we did that for about a decade. We actually sold that a little over a year ago, but a year into that, I had a buddy that I was following on Facebook, and he made a post about doing FBA on Amazon, and I didn't even know that half the stuff on Amazon is sold by third-party sellers at the time. So I started looking into that. That was about 9 years ago, and so we started an Amazon business. Still own and operate our Amazon business today. It was about 7 years ago now that we went full time with the Amazon business, the event business. I quit my job. We got a warehouse, and still
today. You're doing so much. You've got your own warehouse.
Yeah. We got our own. Cool. We got almost a 4,000 square foot warehouse. We got 5 employees. We do about $3 million a year on Amazon, and it's all for me. It's all on autopilot. So we do wholesale primarily. And I've coached in that space for quite a while. I haven't really coached Amazon now for a couple of years, but I used to coach a little bit with Jim Cockrum and his group.
Oh. Yeah, we've had some of Jim Cochran's students up in here.
Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, no, I haven't really done much with them or even on my own for a couple of years now. Great organization. I really enjoyed it, but I felt like Amazon wasn't for everybody, right? And I was trying to teach Amazon wholesale to everybody I'd come into contact with because that's just what I did.
Yeah.
So it's been now a little over a year and a half. We sold off the event business. We tried to consolidate, kind of make life a little easier. Somewhere in that whole thing, we did car rentals, stuff like that for a little bit. But yeah, I sold off the event business, systematized my entire Amazon business. And now for probably the last year and a half, 2 years, my office manager pretty much runs my Amazon business for me. So
that's the dream there.
Oh yeah, no, it really is. So I'm here at the warehouse every day, but I really don't do much anymore. He knows what he's doing. If he needs help, he'll come ask me questions or whatnot, but he runs it. So about a year and a half ago, I started noticing a friend post about selling franchises. He became a franchise broker. He was trying to build up a team. He wanted some people to come join his brokerage. And then I saw him for a couple months, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. I don't know. Should I do that? It took me probably 3, maybe 4 months to reach out to him. I'm like, okay, tell me more, because this sounds kind of cool. So he told me what he's doing. And I decided to join his team. And so now I'm a senior agent under his brokerage. It's still my own business. I still run my own thing, but I'm a part of his group now, Quantum Franchise Group. So now I've been doing this for just a little bit over a year. I've helped place 10 people in different franchises or business opportunities, and I love it. In fact, I'm buying my own franchise here probably at the end of this month, beginning of next.
Wow. Can you tell us what it is, or is that still
Sure.
a secret?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm buying into a company called Heating and Air Paramedics. So I'll be starting an HVAC business right here in Arizona.
I've had some good friends that knew nothing about the trades or HVAC, but that have bought into HVAC franchises.
Oh, they're fantastic, right? And this one I'm buying into, they're fairly new. The corporate locations out of Indiana, they've been around for 15 plus years, but private equity bought them 3 years ago. And this private equity company is a part of a group called Threshold Brands. And Threshold Brands is a parent company that owns 11 different franchise organizations, all in the home service space, right? So they got consolidated support with like marketing and legal. And so they can like save on a lot of expenses and reinvest that right back into their systems and their support for us. So they've only been franchising for like this HVAC for like 2.5, 3 years. So they don't have very many franchisees. So like they came out with this sweet deal where like the franchise fee, it's normally $40,000. They've reduced it down to $24,000.
That sounds incredibly cheap for a franchise.
So cheap, right? And then the territory size is huge. So all their competition, all the other HVAC guys, their territory size is 100,000 people, right? But this one, it's 100,000 single family homes. Like, I'm getting 400,000 people per territory. I'm buying 4 territories. I'm going to buy the entire East Valley of Phoenix. So like all Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, like all of that, getting like 1.7 million people for only $24,000 per territory.
Air conditioning is a little bit important out that way, right?
Oh yeah, man, it's huge business. $3.2 billion just in Maricopa County alone.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, it's huge. So like, if I can just get like 2% of the market, I'm gonna be like over the moon happy about that. So but yeah, no, I love home service franchise. I love franchising in general. So I'm glad, to get together with you and kind of talk about this. It's not right for everybody, but the systems and support, I think, make it an incredible opportunity for a lot of people. Statistically speaking, if you were to start your own independent startup business, 10 years from now, 18% of those businesses will still be around. Right? But if you go with the franchise, over 80% of those are still going to be around. Right. So your success rate when you franchise is so much better. You become profitable so much faster. Like, yes, you're going to have to pay a franchise fee. Yes, they're going to require you to spend so much money on marketing. They're going to want you to wrap the vehicle, but all that stuff makes you successful, right? Like they're gonna do those things that force you to be successful. Where if you're just trying to figure it out yourself, sometimes you don't think of those things, or maybe you don't put enough money into marketing or put enough thought into branding or whatever, right? So, but the playbook is great. Like, for example, again, back to the HVAC. Like I have 2 business coaches. The brand president is going to get on weekly calls, coaching calls with me for the first year. This guy's been in franchising for 24 years. He's owned several brands. He's worked for several different franchise companies. And then I have another coach that's also going to do weekly calls with me. The 4-month launch program is all this virtual training and then in-person training at corporate and all this. And I don't need to be an HVAC guy. Right? Like that's what the beauty of, like, I'm not going to get certified. I'm not going to go service units. I'm going to hire certified people. My business needs an HVAC license, but the franchise has ways of doing that. To get the business the license and then help me find and hire the right
people. Almost sounds like you'd have to do something incredibly stupid to not be successul doing the right franchise. Yeah,
I feel like it. I think as long as you're well capitalized, as long as you think ahead, and that's part of the whole process I take people through is we look at that franchise disclosure document. We look at what's called the item 7, which is the investment range. It'll break down exactly the range of the money that you need to have up front. And as long as you have enough money to cover marketing and to cover, your working capital, and you plan it all ahead, you follow the system, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
There's people that don't succeed, but it's typically like those who didn't follow the playbook, right? Those who didn't have, they weren't well capitalized, where it said like, you need 150,000 to maybe 200,000 for this particular investment. Well, they thought they could do it with 75 to 100, right? Those people I do see like really struggle.
Yeah.
But if you follow the guidelines, you follow the playbook, you attend those coaching calls, you go to the annual conference, you're gonna do well.
Oh yeah. So for people that are listening to this and not watching the video, tell us what your shirt says, because I love that.
Oh, life is short. Fire your boss. Start the business. Yep.
And there's a QR code on the shirt for Franchise Heroes.
There is, yes, franchiseheroes.co. But yeah, that's where that'll take you. Yeah.
So let me dig into some questions now before I forget. And so you're one of those rare folks that you're actually doing what you went to school for. You went from business into business.
Yeah, I got a business degree and then, started my own businesses.
Yeah. So when you sold the photo booth business, how did you do that? Did you know somebody, or did you use a broker? Because we get a lot of folks that wonder about that kind of thing.
Yeah, I thought I'd have to hire a broker, but we thought that we would just reach out to our own network first. We got super lucky. So we kind of sold it off in parts. We sold the bubble soccer business to my employee, who is my e-commerce warehouse manager, or office manager. So the guy that runs the show here at my e-commerce business, he now owns the old bubble soccer business.
I love this, man. So many steps. There's multiple streams of income for them, for you.
Yeah. That's what I love, right? So he's not just my employee. Like, we've made him a partner and everything, and now he owns his own business in addition to working for me. So, but the photo booth side, my wife threw it on Instagram. And within like an hour, a former employee, friend of ours, reached out. He's like, I loved working for you. I would love to own this business. Like, let me talk to my wife. Let me talk to my father-in-law, see if I can borrow some money, and I'll get back to you. And we sold it within a week of that post. Like, it was fast. Yeah. He's like, I want it. Let's do it. We agreed on a price. And within a week, I was training him, and he was moving on. So fortunately for them, like, they got an amazing deal with COVID. In the event industry, like, it was probably valued at half of what it was if I would have sold it in 2019. But we were done, and it had helped us start our Amazon business. It had helped us start everything that we've done. So I think it kind of ran its course and it accomplished its goal, and we were ready to move on.
Yeah. It's like you're living the rich dad, poor dad dream, where you start something, you start a business, automate the business, move on to another business. I mean, it's just, I love the way that sounds. It's exactly what he always talked about in his books.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I fully plan on diving in full time to this HVAC thing. I'm still going to be running my franchise brokerage as well. I'll probably scale back the hours a little bit so I can focus more energy in the HVAC, but hopefully within the first 12 months or so, I've got a solid office manager that schedules the tech, schedules the jobs, that's basically running the show again. So I'm going to dive in, we'll automate it, learn it, automate it, and then pull back out again.
Yeah. I love that, because the trades, my dad's got a construction business. He's had it for like 40 years. And the trades died for a long time. Like, it was, the blue collar was the rejects, for such a long time. Yeah. And now with Micro doing his thing and some other, the trades are finally coming back. It's a viable occupation. And, like my son, he's going to welding school right now, and it's all paid for. We don't have to pay a dime. That's awesome. And he's doing that while he's still in homeschool high school. And so he'll come out of high school with a welding certificate. And it's amazing to me how something that I used to get laughed at for doing, people would make fun of me because, dirty and sweaty and everything at the end of the day, and they didn't have to mess with that. But now, it's like the easiest, cheapest way to six figures if you start your own business.
Dude, I love it. I represent almost 800 different franchises, 37 different industries, and right now home services are by far my favorite. Right? Like, you think that like buying a McDonald's is the sexy thing, right? A Subway. McDonald's is $2 million, and you're lucky to net $80,000 per location.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Like that investment doesn't make sense, right? I can show you a painting franchise. All in, you're like $150,000, and the average owner is doing 2.4 million in annual revenue.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a lot lower investment. It's a lot less risky. You don't need to go get a brick and mortar. You don't need a warehouse. A lot of these could even be subcontractor based models. And it's never going to go away. Like people always need painting. They always need air conditioning. They need these things, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so they're fantastic. And I do have models where you don't have to leave your job either, right? Like I think it's preferred for me personally, if you as the owner can jump in and run it yourself for the first year and then replace yourself.
Yeah.
I think you're successful and you're profitable faster. But there are lots of models that I sell that have semi-passive models where you can hire a manager, and it's a manage the manager type role. So you can keep your job. You're more of an investor in this business. The franchise helps you find that right manager that's going to hire and manage your team. So there's a lot of great semi-passive opportunities as well in this space. If for whatever reason you love your job, or you're not ready to leave it, but you want to start that business, there's good semi-passive stuff too.
Yeah, I can see this working well for guys that or ladies that are closer to retirement, and like maybe they're 3 to 5 years out and just wanting to get something started so that they can just dive right into it after retirement. I mean, it seems perfect.
Absolutely. Most of my clients that I've been dealing with lately are probably 50 and above.
Yeah.
They're getting close, or they're already there. Like I helped a lady in Savannah, Georgia. What was it? October, I think. She closed on a 2-unit deal with like a med spa type franchise. So she spent 30 years as a physical therapist, had just retired, thought about going back and getting her MBA and then like restarting something, but we connected and she really resonated with this health and wellness concept, and is opening a location in Savannah, Georgia, and then another one in Hilton Head.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. See, that's over my way. I'm in upstate South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so you kind of already answered the first question. Why should I franchise? I mean, it seems to me like you're still an entrepreneur, you're still the boss, but you've got a team behind you that from the get go. I mean, the coaching you talked about that you're getting it seems invaluable. I mean, paying for that on its own would probably cost that much anyway.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. No, I'm real pumped about this business coaching I'm going to be getting. Like, I do feel like I've ran several businesses. I've sold several businesses. I feel like I know a lot about it, but I also don't know what I don't know. And I know there's still a lot to learn. So I'm pretty excited about that component of it as well.
Yeah. All right. So I heard on John Lee Dumas's show, he had a franchise, somebody on there talking about franchises, and they said they prefer to stay away from hotels and food. You kind of feel that way, or?
I would tend to agree. Yeah. So I belong to an association called the Franchise Brokers Association, and they're the ones that kind of manage the large part of our franchise inventory. So they vet all these franchises. They don't even allow like hotel franchises in our inventory. So one, I don't sell those. But I would agree, food and beverage is really hard, very demanding on your time, very expensive up front, and the margins are slim.
Yeah.
There's a couple exceptions that I would make. That I do have some that I kind of like. I do have like this hot dog and barbecue, smaller footprint restaurant that is partnered with Walmart.
Oh.
And so, yeah, right now, like Walmart's not renewing leases with McDonald's and Subway, and they're putting in new concepts.
Yeah.
And this franchise signed an agreement with Walmart this past summer, and they're now opening up as the leases expire with the McDonald's and Subways. And it's a really cool concept. You can also run that semi-passive with a good manager hire. It's a very small footprint, so your investment is probably 350,000 versus if you did that as standalone, you're over $1 million.
Yeah.
So there are some exceptions to that, but by and large, I would agree. I'm not a huge fan of food and beverage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with Subway, but I would never stop in a Subway at Walmart. But I tell you what, if I'm walking by and I smell barbecue, I mean, they may just get me.
Right? Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right, so real quick, if you don't mind, I want to do a pop quiz. I want to throw some industries or jobs out there, and you tell me if you got franchises for it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so we connected over swimming. So I
Yeah.
assume you've got like swimming training or
Yeah, so I got two franchises off the top of my head that are home based, that are swim coaching type franchises where you teach children and adults how to swim. Some of them teach children from like I want to say like 6 months old or something. Like
wow.
they start really really young. I believe one of them the model is based on going to you, or if you own a swimming pool at your house, great. But a lot of them that go to the person, they use their swimming pool, their neighbor's
Huh.
swimming pool. Another one likes to partner with local hotels. So, like
Oh, yeah.
Your local Holiday Inn, that swimming pool is empty most of the day, right? No one's at the hotel swimming from 10 a.m. to noon, right? So go get a partnership with that Holiday Inn, and you teach your swim classes at their hotel. You're gonna have to pay a small rent, but it's not gonna be that bad. It's definitely cheaper than trying to build a pool or open
Yeah.
up a pool. So yeah, I got two really good swimming franchises.
That's pretty cool. All right, so I got a bunch of tattoos hiding under the shirt. So any tattoo franchises?
I don't think I have any tattoo franchises
Yeah.
right now. No,
That's
no.
still too fringe, I guess, but that's probably coming.
It might be. There's some like out of the box like barber shop ones
Yeah.
that are really cool that do like the full service like cigar bar and like all that cool, and they have that very like tatted branding.
Yeah, like a gentleman's kind of place. Yeah, the place where I go to get my beard trim. They I mean they've got a cooler where they offer you a beer while you're sitting there getting your haircut done and all that.
Yep.
Yep, I love that. I mean, because matter of fact, I took my sons there and I took some like bottled Jones soda for them to drink, and just so they could see the experience of a male barbershop because it's a fun thing to do.
Love it.
Let's see. All right, so we tattoo swimming. Let's see. What's the weirdest one you'd say that you have?
The weirdest
Of
one.
course, I know that's relative, but
Yeah, some of them are kind of just off the wall. I do have this one, like I hate like I'm not a huge fan of it. It's like this like almost food truck type approach, but for like flowers, like
oh
flower arrangements and stuff
yeah,
like that, right? So like you do fairs and festivals, and for the right person, like super cool. Like
yeah,
obviously not my thing, not my jam, but it's like this. It's almost like a food truck type thing, and you're doing flowers and stuff out of it.
yeah.
So.
All right, so I'm a big pop culture nerd too. So any like comic books, gaming, anime, anything like that?
No,
Man,
no.
I'm seeing some business opportunities here.
I know, right? If honestly, like if it's something that can be repeatable, it's systematized and repeatable in other markets, it can be franchised.
Yeah,
And that is also another piece of what I do. I don't just help people buy existing franchises. I help you turn your successful concept into a franchise.
oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we've got a lawyer that helps write the FDD. We got a whole team that helps you put together your operations manual. It's about a 4 to 5 month process where they do all this. You get to exhibit at the franchise shows. There's like 12 different franchise shows across the country that you get to be a part of. If you can't go personally, someone will rep you there, so you'll have a presence. But yeah, we got a whole process for turning your concept into a franchise. I would like
Yeah,
to see that you've been in business for at least a year and that you're making money, that you're profitable. But if it's repeatable, systematizable, can be popped up in another market, then it can be franchised.
okay. See that? Yeah, that's really got the wheels turning now.
Yeah.
Because I'm always trying to think of
One,
streams of income, like ways to turn what I already do
yeah.
into more money somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, and then you can charge a franchise fee, royalties, and then you help people, build their business. So, and then you can work with broker groups like mine to help push your concept to potential clients.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty
I got a
cool.
cool one. I got a cool one that I just kind of learned about. Is It's a fundraising franchise.
Oh,
Never
I
really
never
thought
would have
about
thought of
it,
that.
but like, yeah. So the territory size is 50,000 high school students, and you're working with high school coaches, athletic departments, and you're helping them put together better fundraising opportunities, right? So it's actually local here to me, and all their promo videos are at my daughter's high school, and I didn't even realize that they did that. I'm watching the promo video. I'm like, hey, that's where Haley goes to school. But they're talking about like, so they're interviewing the baseball team, for example. So the previous year, the baseball team spent 8-9 months fundraising. They had all these different events, car washes, and the popcorn, and all that stuff. Right? They raised $11,000. Well, yeah, not great, right? So this organization went in and they used their technology and their approach, and year one raised over $50,000 for their baseball team.
Wow.
And the baseball team introduced them to the football coach and the volleyball coach, and they raised $250,000 for that athletic department year one working with that school.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Could you imagine the man hours that went into $11,000 worth of money? That
Right? Yeah. So
only if it's free with kids.
Yep. Yeah. So there's opportunities like that where you can actually make a real difference, and then you can make really good income doing it too, right?
Yeah.
So there's obviously a split. The school's going to get the majority of those funds, but the franchisee is going to get a portion, and that's how you're going to make a profit.
Yeah, I like it. So on your website, I saw halfway down investment strategy mentioned, like using franchising for investment strategy. Tell me what that's all about.
Well, I mean, for me, like I strongly believe that the quickest way to become wealthy is through business ownership. So using that, stacking brands, building an empire, it's all about investing in yourself and investing in businesses to grow your wealth. I think if you look at who's the richest man in the world right now?
Is it Buffett
Musk.
or Elon?
I think it's Musk. I think it's Elon Musk. Like, did he get there with real estate?
Oh, no.
He didn't. No. He owns several very successful businesses. So if you look at Warren Buffett, right? Did he get there with real estate? Like, I'm sure he has real estate holdings, right?
Yeah, he's got the holdings, but not the real estate.
Yeah. But he got there with business ownership. So if you look, like, I have a white paper on my website. You can. I wasn't responsible for writing it. I'm not that smart. But if you want to check it out, it does talk about like speed to wealth. The speed to wealth, like the fastest way to become wealthy is through business ownership. It's faster even than real estate.
Yeah. Okay. And so go ahead and tell me, what's it like working with you? Like if people sign up, they do the free consultation, obviously, which is available through the website. To sign up for that. So once they decide, okay, I want to work with Rich, I need to get a franchise, I got this much money. What's that like?
Yeah, so my entire service is free. I don't charge anything for consult.
We can't beat that.
Yeah. No, so I get paid. It's very similar to like a real estate agent. Like I'm going to get paid on the back end from the franchisor.
Okay.
But whether you work with me for 3 months or 3 years, you don't ever have to pay me a dime. So what I like to do initially is have a discovery call with you. It's going to be about 20, maybe 25 minutes. We're going to talk about everything, right? So we'll talk about what you do currently. Tell me a little bit about yourself. But we'll talk more about what type of business do you want? Are you going to be owner operator? Are you going to quit your job and run it? Are you going to be semi-passive? You want to hire a manager to run it? So that way I know what type of businesses to look for. We're going to talk about, do you want to have a home-based business? Do you want to have a business that requires a truck or a van and we're going to wrap it? Or are you okay with the brick and mortar? We'll talk a little bit about the industries that excite you. Do you like senior care? Do you like staffing? Do you like home services, like automotive? What do you like, right? So we'll talk about your interests. At the end of the call, I will send you another form as well that I want you to fill out. Shows the 37 different industries I have franchises in. I want you to rate those from 1 to 10. If you rated a 1, I'm not even going to look at that industry. If you rated a 7 or above, we'll focus there. I might dive into that 6, maybe in a little bit of a 5 if I think it matches you as well, right? So we'll talk about your finances. We'll talk a little bit about how the lending process works. As far as if you want to borrow money, a lot of people go the SBA route.
Yep.
Depending on how much money you borrow, it'll be 10 to 20% down to qualify for that loan. Some people do HELOCs. Some people do 401k rollovers. 401k is a great way to fund your franchise.
Oh, you can do a rollover into the business.
Absolutely. So you're going to keep it in a 401k. You're going to create a C Corp. You're going to create your own 401k fund. You'll take it out of your job. 401k, you'll move it into your 401k. And now instead of someone else managing that 401k for you, investing in stocks and mutual funds, it's now going to invest in your business.
Oh, wow. And you can help with all that.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So I don't personally do it, but I have the contacts that do it for you.
Yeah.
So they do all that, help with the C Corp setup, they help with the rollover part of it. Huge tax implications with that. It's a lot of savings if you do that approach. There's even like you have the same protections like on the back end when you sell your franchise as well.
Yeah.
You would as if you were just selling your stocks in your 401k when you retire there. So, and then people self-fund as well all the time. I do see a lot of, I probably like a third of all of my clients have just paid cash for their franchises. So
Okay.
that option too. So, but we'll talk about like what investment range you want to make, so that I know kind of a range of what to look for and show you. And also at the end of the call, I'll send you an entrepreneurial assessment. It takes about 10 minutes. It's kind of like a personality profile for entrepreneurship, very much like a DISC, if you've ever taken a DISC assessment. It helps me kind of understand your personality types and your strengths and weaknesses as a business owner. It helps me understand, are you the type of person that I can place in an emerging brand? Or are you the type of person that needs a lot of support with a bigger and more established brand?
Yeah. Okay.
It even gives me like recommendations. It gives me like the top 10 franchises or types of franchises that you would fit really well with.
Yeah.
So I use all of that, our conversation, the category form where you rate the industries and the assessment. I use kind of all of it together to really map out what you match with. And then I will do territory checks based on the zip codes that you want to operate in. So I usually send out 40 to 50 territory checks to the different franchises that I feel would be good matches for you to find out that it's available. Because most franchises have geographic restrictions, right? When you buy, like for example, like with my HVAC, I'm buying the entire east side of the Phoenix Valley. When I buy it, it's mine. Nobody else can come in and operate that same franchise in that same territory.
Yeah.
They're going to protect me. So I do have to check to make sure it's available in your market. And that'll affect a little bit what I show you. But I mean, I've spent thousands of hours studying and researching these franchises. So I have a pretty good feel for the ones that do well, the ones that don't, the ones that have bad systems, the ones that have really good systems. And then, so I'll do my homework about 3 to 5 business days. I like to get back together over a Zoom call. It's usually about an hour long. I'll show you 10, maybe as many as 12 different franchises. We'll go over very high level what the franchise does, how long it's been around, how many franchisees, average revenue, net profits, all that stuff. You get a pretty broad overview. We're really trying to narrow this down to about 2 to 4 franchises that really pique your interest, kind of get you excited. At that point, I introduce you to the franchisor, and you'll have a series of due diligence conversations with that franchisor. It's typically a series of 6 to 10 calls, depending on them. They'll do a broad overview of their concept. They'll have you do a president's call with the brand president or founder of the company. You'll have a call with marketing. You'll have a call reviewing that FDD document with them. So many different like calls. Validation calls are the most important, right? So some franchisors will set up validation calls for you where they get on calls with other owners. And they'll tell you their experience with corporate, how much money they're making, how fast did they ROI, all that stuff. And some will give you a list of all of the owners' names, phone numbers, emails, and you contact them and set up calls on your own. But regardless, you're highly encouraged. Most systems actually require that you talk to a certain number of franchisees to get to understand their experience before they'll even sell to you. So
I mean, not that anything's effortless, but man, you're making it sound so easy to do.
And at the end of the day, it's a mutually agreed upon relationship, right? So the last step is a discovery day or a meet the team day. Most of them now are in person again. Some of them are still virtual, but it's usually, so again, with me and this HVAC company, I'm going to fly out to Dallas at the end of the month. I'm going to spend 2 days with heating and air paramedics. I'm going to get to know their whole team, their whole support. The first day is kind of a meet and greet, kind of a wine and dine type of experience. Second day, we're spending 5 hours in a classroom, and I'm going to get to meet every single department. They're going to explain their level of support, what they do, and then it's an interview process. So at the end of that, they will get together, their executive team, and they will either decide to award me my franchise or they will decide not to.
Yeah.
So if I get awarded the franchise, they will let me know that, and then I sign and fund and go from there. But if they don't want to work with me, they don't have to. Like I've seen it before. Like luckily, none of my clients, I feel like I've prepared them well enough for those conversations and those meetings. But I have seen other franchise brokers that their candidate will go to a discovery day. They act like this know-it-all, or and they just totally mess it up. And at the end of the day, they're like, I'm sorry, we don't want to work. We don't want you in our system.
Yeah. So I like that though. They're interviewing you as much as the other way around.
Yeah. You have to work with them, and they have to work with you in order to make it work. So
yeah.
And then you have that launch. After that, you sign your franchise agreement. I help throughout that process. Most of those conversations are happening directly with the franchisor, but we do meet about every other week. We'll have some strategy calls, talk about what you're hearing, answer questions, make sure that we're looking at the right franchise concepts to begin with. Sometimes we have to pivot a little bit, and we go back and I show you some different things or introduce you to a different franchise based on the conversations that you've been having and what we're learning about each other. I'm usually pretty good about matching you with the right things up front, but every once in a while we have to change things up and go a different route. I introduce you to the lending partners that I have. If you would like a franchise attorney to review the franchise agreement and FDD, I have a connection that'll do that with you and for you to help you know what you're signing. You're signing a 10-year agreement in most cases. Sometimes it's 5. Most of the time it's 10 with options to renew. So it's really important that you know what you're signing, that you know your rights, and stuff like that. So that's the process. You'll sign, you'll fund, and then your training starts. And some franchises, it's 1 to 2 months to get launched. Some takes as many as 6 to 9 if there's a brick and mortar build out concept part of it. Then those take longer. But your home services, your home based ones, typically you can go through training and business setup and be up and operating in 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Wow. Well, it sounds like fun. I mean, if I was going that route, I mean, you've actually got me wondering, I need to look into it and see if it might be something fun to do. All right. So as we start to wrap up, I always like to ask everybody if you could recommend 3 resources, books, people to follow, podcasts, anything that you feel are just integral to success or motivation or just keeping you going. What would you recommend?
Man, that's a great question. Three things, huh? I'm a big fan of podcasts. I'm always listening to podcasts. Right now, I'm really stuck on this home service podcast, launching your own home service empire. So I like those. There's a couple of good guys out there. If you're looking at home services, that Home Service Expert podcast by what's his name? Mello. Shoot, I can't remember his name right now. Sorry, something.
I'll look it up and I'll put it in the show notes. But Home Service Expert.
Yeah, the Home Service Expert podcast. But you also got guys like Brian Beers. Brian Beers is a great. He's another franchise consultant out there that puts out a lot of great content with his podcasts. He owns 40. I think he's up to 40 plus different automotive. Well, it's one franchise. But 40 plus locations of Midas, I think is what it is. Does over $45 million a year with his franchise, loves franchise. He just bought into a painting franchise as well. So he does just great overviews of franchising in general, but he'll also interview different franchisors and talk about their concepts and stuff like that.
You can guarantee he's not under the vehicles changing the oil neither.
Oh no, absolutely not. No, he runs the business, and that's the great thing. Especially with home services, even senior care, you don't need to be an expert in that field to be successful, and you're not going to be turning the wrench. You're not going to be the one in people's homes administering the medication. You don't have to go to nursing school. You're running a business, right? You're going to hire for a lot of that stuff. Podcasts, man. I love podcasts.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put all 3 of those down. Home Service Empire, Home Service Expert, and then Brian Beers. Yep. Sounds good. Well, Rich, I appreciate you joining me, man. I'm glad we met on that Facebook post.
Yeah, me too. One thing that I will mention that some people have questions about is is the sellability of your business.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So people think sometimes that it's a franchise, that maybe the franchisor owns a portion of your business. Is it sellable? Is it an asset? It absolutely is, 100%, right? You are signing that 10-year franchise agreement, but at any time, once you've built it up to a level that you want, that's got some good value, or even if you realize a couple years in that you just don't want to do that anymore for whatever reason, you can sell it. The franchisor typically helps with that. And then you've got franchise brokers like myself that also help show resells and stuff to our clients as well.
Okay.
So I do have a small inventory of resells if you would prefer to look at existing businesses.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely that ability to exit and sell your franchise as well.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That way, I mean, you have life changes, you want to move closer to your kids, whatever. Sometimes you might need to, yeah,
You
either
find something
automate it
new
or sell it.
Exactly. Yep. You find something new you want to focus on, and if you can always sell it, or again automate it. That's what I love to do. I love to automate
Yeah.
and then add that next thing, bolt on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you being on here, and I'll drop
Absolutely.
everything in the show notes so people can get in touch with you if
Awesome.
they're the right people. But they'll find that out through checking in with you.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for your time, David.
Hey, one more thing before we wrap up for good on this podcast. Just came out with another new book, and this is it's going to be the first in the Streams of Income Build a Business guides. And so I'm going to start putting out these smaller booklets about how to start a business doing XYZ. And so this one is about selling custom and print on demand merch online. In other words, we're talking about coming up with your own artwork, and don't let me saying that scare you away from it. It's way easier than you think, and I'll talk about that in here. But coming up with your own artwork, slogans, things like that, your own business logos, and making that available for people to buy in print-on-demand fashion on T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coats, aprons, coffee mugs. I mean, the vendor that I use, there's like 75 different items people can order my artwork on. And so the crazy thing is as soon as I say create your own artwork, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not sure about that. I don't use Photoshop, or I don't know how to do that. I don't either. I have a VA actually do most of my artwork. She creates the artwork for me. She does the posting for me. And I talk about that in the book, how you can come up with the business idea, come up with a theme, come up with the ideas for artwork, come up with all these cool or funny slogans and things like that and artwork. And I just realized I said things, like sometimes my Southern comes out. And so, yeah, you'll spot that sometimes. But I'll tell you in the book how to do all that stuff way easier than you think, how to have somebody else create the artwork, somebody else do the uploading, because my goal for streams of income, multiple streams of income specifically, is that you're not just adding yet one more side hustle, one more business to an already busy life. I like things like this where you can take things that you're already doing and repurpose it and make more money off of it, especially in a passive manner, or you can start something up and pay somebody a portion of the profits to do it for you. And you're also making money mostly passive. They're doing all the work and you're sharing the money. And so I love things like that. And like, writing books, like publishing books, once it's out there, it's passive. You've done the work. So unless you're doing marketing, which you kind of do need to, unless you're doing marketing to push it, the money is passive. The thing's out there and you just get a statement every month or whenever things are selling. Really cool. So check it out. It's going to be the first in a long series of build your own business. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. Start a business in 30 days. The idea factory. I'm tossing around a lot of ideas for that, but this is the first guide that's coming out in that series. Hope you enjoy.